Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This week I'm doing a brow tutorial. Just want to say a quick shout out to Ray Bay for this fabulous week. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it. So I'm right-handed, so I'm just gonna flip the canvas just to get a more flow of work, so to speak. And then when I'm done, I'll flip it back to the original state. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is to add a new layer using the dip pen hard with your stabilizer tool on. You're gonna select the color that you're going to use for your brows. I'm going to use this dark brown. And basically just draw an outline of the type of brow you want. Alright. And then you're gonna duplicate this layer. Move it upward. Merge these two, and then you're gonna somewhat modify it like this. And then you're gonna erase the excess. The next step is to fill this in. So to do that, we're gonna add a new layer using the airbrush normal. We're going to use the base color for the tail of the brow. It's supposed to be the darkest area. Then when you get to the arch, you're going to use a lighter shade of the base color. You can just keep on blending until you're satisfied with how it looks. And then when you're done, you're just gonna do some cleaning up. After you've done with cleaning up, you're going to hide the outline layer and then do some more cleaning up on the shading area if necessary. So I normally use the eraser with the line tool to help me get a little bit more precision. So the next step is adding some hairs to give it a little bit more life. So you're gonna add a new layer using the pencil graphite. Stabilizer still on. You're gonna make some small strokes at the start of the brow. And increase the size as you get into the middle. Then when you get to the tail, because it's so dark, you have to just try to get a darker version of your base color. And then just clean this up, just the underside only, don't trouble the stray hairs at the top. Then merge the hair layer with the shaded area. And then you can always go back and adjust or shape up if something doesn't look straight to you or so on. Right now what I'm gonna do is just adjust the angle at which the brow is set at. It's looking a little bit like an angry brow, so I'm just going to turn it around, so to speak, like yes, get it more of a more neutral angle. Might increase the size a little bit more. Yes. Alright, and your brow is basically done. So all that's left to do is just duplicate this layer and copy to the other side. You might find that you have to re-angle the other side. And then when you're done, just erase the excess. Now I'm going to flip the canvas back to its original state and add highlights. So for that, you're gonna add a new layer, put the blending mode on add, then using the dip and hard and whatever color you normally use for face highlighting, you can use that, and just draw an outline underneath the brow. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the stabilizer tool. And then I always bring it like a curve. Just make sure under the arch has the most application of the color. And then I'm just gonna duplicate this to the other side. Merge these two layers down, erase the excess, then using the Gaussian blur tool to blend it out. Do that one more time. And then you're just gonna erase the excess from the brows. Then I'm just gonna use the blur tool to kind of seam out these areas. Then if you don't like the brightness of this, you can always turn down the opacity. So for a bit of extra pop, what I do is add a new layer, put the blending mode on add, using the airbrush particle. I just do some dabs on and then to erase this, I use the airbrush particle on the same brush and size. Turn it down a little bit. And you're done.